Today, we are excited to be joined by Keith and MarkDub, the hosts of the Blerd-ish podcast, a platform dedicated to comics, anime, movies, books, and celebrating independent creators.
That's right. These two Blerds have built more than a podcast through Blerd-ish, Books and Ish, creator spotlights, pop-ups, and their online community. They are making space for diverse stories and Black nerd culture to thrive.
We'll be talking about their beginnings, the evolution of Black nerd culture, why uplifting independent creators matters, and some of the comics, books, anime, and fandoms that have them hyped right now.
All that and more on today's bonus episode with Blerd-ish on the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snerdy is the best podcast, gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna make magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. Ain't notice she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snerdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snerdy, ooh. Black and Snerdy, yeah. Black and Snerdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned nerds here on a bonus episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast. How are you doing? No, I forgot. We're trying to switch that up.
No, I'm just doing it whenever I want.
Okay. Oh, all right.
I'm just
so it's not about being efficient. It's just about your rule.
Yeah. Duh. What else would it be about?
All right. Well, then allow you to the space to ask me how I'm doing.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. As I've said, what feels like all of summer, I am tired. You know what it is? I never really recovered from the Knicks winning. That was for a relatively small amount of time. It took an absorbent amount of my energy.
Well, it was a lot of up and down emotions. Yeah. That's the thing about sports. It's like you're going up and down. That's why watching like any championship, World Cup, Super Bowl, I don't really want to watch the sport every weekend because it's too much going up and down. Yeah. But I can get there at the main part because then I can just have used that anxiety for that moment and not have to have it constantly because it's a lot. It's very draining. It
is very draining. Like for me, as I've said famously on this podcast, I don't sport. That's not my thing. But when these big things occur, I can hold my own in a conversation. All I have to do is just like go in knowing like 2, maybe 3 talking points and then stick to those talking points. In case I run into somebody who's like a super fan and who knows like all the stats and stuff like that, I'll just like lean back and be like, oh, well, you know, this thing over here. But with the Knicks winning, it was again, such a small amount of time and a lot of energy having to stay up to watch the games, to then be swept up in the energy of the city, to then the actual day of the Knicks winning being a day where I was standing on my feet for hours, walking around, going from place to place, walking in the streets, and it was a lot. My feet hurt by the end, and I needed a soak. And I have never recovered ever since.
Well, why didn't you soak your feet?
I did soak my feet.
In the little soak machine?
Yes, I did.
How did it help?
It didn't.
Not really. You gotta do it every day. You can't just do it once in a while.
I did it every day after that.
You gotta continue it. It's an everyday type of thing.
All right. Well, you
need a daily soak.
Yes, I do need
it. It does help, massage the bottom of your feet, exfoliates and all that.
I don't give a fuck about exfoliating. I'm trying. If anything, I'm trying to exfoliate the demons that
you gotta release the toxins. You know what you need? You need a salt bath.
Sure.
You need a salt bath to remove the negative energy, remove all the stagnant energy out of you. Because salt, you use that to banish evil. It's one of the things. Right? Yeah. You wash it down, and then you're gonna be feeling rejuvenated. But then after the salt bath, then you could do like a nice little spiritual bath.
Sure. If you could just talk a little louder.
Oh, sorry. I said after your salt bath.
Yeah, no.
Then you go in with a nice little spiritual bath, and it will boost you up.
Sure. I will consider all of those things. Will I do them? Who knows? How are you doing?
I'm feeling pretty good. Considering I had a nap. I think the nap really helped. I feel like when I was a kid, I did not take advantage of the naps that were given to me, and I think that it was
I can tell.
It was jarring when we were no longer allowed to nap.
Sure.
I think that was maybe second grade, and they were like, "Oh, no more naps," and I was like, "Excuse me, we all need a nap time."
That's great. That's like first grade. Like once you get into like the graded numbers,
I checked. I don't know. I feel like first grade, I can't really remember if we ever napped or not.
I don't think you did. At least for me, it was pre-K, kindergarten. Those were the nap times, and then first grade was like, all right, like let's sit your ass in a little tiny chair, and then like try to wean you into actual structure. And then third grade was like, all right, enough of this shit. Here's the standardized test, and here's some concepts of math that you weren't aware of that Barney didn't teach you.
I can't remember if I was in Catholic school it was either kindergarten or first grade. I do think it was kindergarten, but I either way, one of them I was napping, and I felt very annoyed and disgusted when I was taken away. So I need a good nap in the middle of the day to get my energy back up and to like allow me to be a person, because I get very cranky when I'm tired.
Yes, you do. I can attest to that. That's real.
I get very cranky, and I need rest. Yeah, and it takes me a while to get to sleep, so I need that time to be able to
sure
blossom into myself.
That sure. I have no comment, because if I comment, then that's a conversation that will end up being had later, and I do not enjoy those. Now, with that being said, shall we get into it?
We shall.
Because I am super excited to have not one, not three, but two dope-ass special guests.
And who are these special guests?
Well, as I mentioned in the cold opening, and I hope they take no offense to me saying this, but I consider them the OGs within the Blerd creator space. They are the hosts of Blerd-ish podcast, and they have so many things going on that they have been building and promoting and creating within the Black creator space. I want everybody who's watching, everybody to listen, to please give a warm, hearty welcome to MarkDub and Keith from Blerd-ish podcast.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I love that intro.
Love it.
That was a great intro. That intro made me feel like I wanted to run through a wall. I don't think that's a good idea, because
that makes
it's gonna
me
cost a
feel
lot
like
to fix my home.
Steve Harvey, Sinbad, Mark Curry brought me out on the Apollo.
Yes.
Well,
the Showtime dancers.
I am so honored to have been named amongst those legends, and then also Steve Harvey was named too.
Yes.
Gentlemen, so seriously, thank y'all so much for joining us today. Thank y'all for being on the podcast. It is great to meet y'all, and I happily welcome y'all to the Snerdyverse pantheon, and I hope that you accept and understand the responsibility that comes with that.
Well, I'm sexy. We're nerdy. Hey,
and you're black. You're checking all the boxes.
Yeah, I feel like we're in the right place at the right time.
All right.
Absolutely. Y'all absolutely are. Shall we get into it?
Yes, we shall. All right. So y'all have been doing a bunch of Blerd-ish stuff for the past decade or more, right? And so we know about you, but we are introducing you to our listeners. And so I would love for you to tell those who are just discovering Blerd-ish, who are the both of you, what is Blerd-ish, and what does being a blerd mean to each of you?
Well,
Keith,
Blerd-ish
you wanna
is
start?
sure. It's a collaborative effort between me and Mark. We met through mutual friends, through circles, through different events and whatnot, and we got the idea of coming to come together to make a pod during the rise of Black Panther, and everybody was excited, and more people. I call it the Great Blerd Boom because I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, this is it." Like I get it, y'all don't want to give Marvel credit. That's cool, but for a lot of people, just that movie made them realize that, oh, I can be into this. I can like this. And I was like, hey man, let's do this. Let's talk about it. And like I said, I was doing a previous podcast with my homies that are mutual friends. And then just in the downtime, we didn't have nothing else to talk about after free agency. And then we always had a love for this. Of course, me and Mark love basketball. He wasn't a part of basketball BS that got started on the other end, far reaches of it, but we no longer do that. And we've been doing this for 10 years. So we just made 10 years in June. Our birthdays are both in June. Our his friend Mike T birthday's in June, and this is in June as well. So it June is special, and 10 years is special to be still podcasting. We're not sponsored, we're not famous. We're doing it because we wanted to create an avenue for people, for creators, and just to get our points off, and not, we don't just want to argue about stuff we hate and this and that. We actually want to talk about the things we love, to a passionate degree, whether it's anime, movies, comics, or whatever, or just whatever happened to be in the world. And for Blerd-ish, what it means is Blackish was popular at the time, and then I would say, oh, something like a black nerd. So like kind of like you're Blerd-ish. And then also the other meaning is black nerd shit. So I just combined it to that and just made Blerd-ish and have a little double entendre play on words and to make it smooth and easy to say. So because I didn't want to just be like, well, I don't want to say them because I don't want to get sued, but there's a company that use the word. And I actually had a trademark before that company. So Blerd-ish existed in paper. You can find it in the government before Blerd was trademarked.
All right. So we got some pioneers over here.
Hell yeah. Mark, care to add anything that may have gotten missed?
No, I mean, just a furtherance. You guys said that we were OGs in this space. Shout out to Marcel, my guy. He said he thought that OG stood for opportunities and guidance. Because when you've done something for a while, you can then provide opportunities and guidance for other people. And like Coop said, we started our platform. We were just talking about things we love, but we used it as an opportunity to give other people who love the things that we love opportunity to talk about it. Use our platform as a platform for other people to have a platform. So we platform it. We platforming the platformers.
So he's Mario and I'm Luigi.
Oh, okay.
The Super Mario Brothers.
Super.
I think he's just saying that because I'm the shorter one and he is the taller one, but we'll rock with it.
All right. And so what did the early versions of Blerd-ish look like compared to what it has become today?
It's still similar. It is an erratic mess. That's fine. But what we were like invitation, like interview only. Like we wanted to really talk to all people on the up and come, and we have some. I'm proud of some of our interviews. Like we had some very great comic book artists out there that's still rocking the show. Like say the creators of the Tuskegee Heirs. We talked to the creator and sold his book, the creator of Harry Tubman Demon Slayer. We talked to people such as the creator of Crescent City Monsters. So we talked to
that's my dog.
So
Crescent City Monsters is dope. If y'all haven't seen it, check it out.
And of course, our homie Jason Reeves from New Orleans. Not only is he a comic book writer, he's his own comic book printer. He prints for other people. So, and he was the person who got me into the vending game. And just quick story, it went really fast. Like Keith, like because I work at East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Sometimes I don't like to say my business out there, but I'm easy to find. But so and it just like it's funny how Blerd-ish led from one thing to another thing into this thing now to where we are here today talking to you all. Like I did like a let's see, was I doing the podcast? I was trying to do a nerd like a comic book group at work. And then it was like they were like, hey, we're gonna start a Comic Con, which library Comic Cons have caught on in the last 10, 15 years. So it was like, hey, I said, man, my group is not doing good. But she's like, hey, come on, we want your experience, blah, 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 what you know. So I did that. So then I went on my way to find blackness and diversity because that was one of the things of the con. So I went out, I started going to cons. That was like my first reason to go to cons. I just didn't. So I didn't start going to cons. I was about like 35. So I'm older in the game going to cons. They're like, oh, this is fun. Met Jason. And then the first thing I did that impressed him, I went and researched all the different indie comic book creators, and I cut out pictures. And my first vendor table was a table just to show you that blackness is there. And I wanted to show that in the event. And I went, now I didn't do all the cut. Shout out to the assistant who I had to do it at work. Student workers. Good job. So and that was the present, and we was the first table out there. So they're like people like, oh, and still to this day, we don't hear it as much, but people be like over the 10 years be like, I didn't know black people was in this. I didn't know we was in this. I'm like, yeah, we out here, baby. From coast to coast, from West Coast, Dirty South, Midwest, New York. There's a black comic book artist out there for your taste and doing something different that you may have not seen by the big two, big three. But also, shout out to my white friends. Image Comics ain't really independent. Stop saying Image Comics is like independent. Like y'all, they big, y'all. Like they just got a different flavor. They are what indies do. They start out as indie, but when you get so big and you got movies and all this, you are not necessarily independent. You're not an indie. You might be independent of some of the rigmarole or not tied to say Disney or a mega conglomerate, but you're not independent. You know what I'm saying? You're not like Black and Snerdy and Blerd-ish out here running around.
We real independent over here.
We out there like Jalen Brunson on the court running extra sets, just for the love of the game.
Absolutely. I have done my research on y'all, gentlemen, and Blerd-ish is not just a podcast. Like I said, y'all are like active in comics and in books and in merch and in like social media and on Twitch and in like in the creator space. When did y'all decide to expand beyond podcasting, and what was the bigger vision?
Oh, my bad. I didn't finish. Look, I got sidetracked. I didn't finish the story. I'm Mark, and I'm not going to just monopolize everything, but shout out to Jason. Jason said, I'm sorry. I got a good credit as due. Jason's like, you want to sell my books? I said, man, you want me to sell your comic books running around? Like, who's going to buy that? And here I am still today doing it. And it worked out. And it's just like more and more people at his height. We had a few, still got some like 5 to 6, black independent people on the table. It kind of has shifted to manga and other stuff because of buying habits. And unfortunately, economic costs. It's a little bit harder to do some of the things that we were doing 10 years ago or 8 years ago. But it led to that. And I'm going to let Mark go into that. Then I'll go into the Twitch thing and other stuff, why some of this stuff was created.
I'll say that, when Jason made the proposition to Coop to start selling, everybody else was like, hey, you mind selling my stuff too? And Coop's a world-class salesman. And Coop, it was awesome because it gave him an opportunity. It gave him an opportunity to sell, for these creators to sell in markets they had never touched, they had never been in. And they started coming and doing cons here. Coop's the library started their con, and we were able to get some pretty prominent people in terms of independent black creators to come and participate. We've had God, I, like Coop said, I'm very proud. One of my favorite interviews, we interviewed Todd Johnson and Larry Stroman, the creators of Tribe. Larry Stroman is a creator of X Factor. You saw like 2 weekends ago, if you were watching X-Men, you saw some of his creations on the screen, some of his designs on the screen. So it took us places I never saw us going. We met people like I met Phil LaMarr. I met Kevin Conroy.
We met shout, and also, I'm glad you mentioned that. We met Phil LaMarr. We knew Rob Guillory. We had Rob Guillory, Phil LaMarr, which shout out to Rob. He was one of our best comic book interviews. We did it in his house in Lafayette.
Yeah, man.
Award
awesome
winner
guy.
of Chew and Farmhand. That was a dope thing. We got to do it in his studio. But we met the Black Ranger, the New Day, Rob Guillory, Phil LaMarr. Who else? That weekend, it was a failed con for reasons that because of
it was a very cool con. They had a great guest list, but it just it wasn't big enough for us.
I was a vendor. I lost money, but I had a damn good time.
Yeah,
like it was one of the best times ever. You know, so that was probably one of our highlights, man. It was like all the people that we messed with were there too. Like shout out to Sherry, Ninja Sama, shout out to Rachel,
Ninja Sama cosplay,
the two
Gamma
ladies
Ray
who recently
cosplay.
have become a mother. One is expecting. They used to do the anime parts with us all the time for about good solid 2 years, but of course things shift and change. But those are like our
sisters,
they're part of the Blerd, our sisters in the Blerd family. I should say that.
Life be lifing, and that's what ends up pulling us. Coop and I actually had the conversation this morning about like how awesome X-Men has been, and my adventures with Superman, and how we have to like get back to partying more frequently, even if it's just gonna be us two. We're gonna get back in that thing, because and we understand with the ladies and with our guy Mike, life be lifing sometimes. So.
And there's so much I got to review.
Still feel like we got to get this out here. I can save that. I can save that for later. What I like, what made me happy this week.
All right. Okay.
Look at you thinking ahead.
I'm saying that.
Podcasting.
So, you've talked about like your journey as Black nerds. And all the things that you've been able to do. And so over the course of these decade or so that you have been in the Blerd space and the creator space, you know, as you mentioned, Black nerd culture has gotten a boom, right? So as it's become more visible, what do you think has genuinely improved, and where do you see big gaps in representation and recognition?
What has improved is the ability for more people to be like, they don't say they are blurred, but they be like, I'm into nerdy things. So I see the shift where, I'm not saying that the blurred boom is going down. It's shifting because I get it.
We are men of a certain age, and we remember a time where it was not cool. Like, man. Like you might have to fight somebody if you might have to fight somebody if they found out like you read comic books. It's like, what kind of stuff is that?
It's crazy.
And so now it's okay to be a nerd. We ain't got to do it. We don't have to be nerds in the darkness. We can be nerds in the light.
I will say this. And even going from those like kind of those old caveman days that we grew up in, but now it's like, I went to school for business, so I look at these things, these trends, and how people talk. Now I may not necessarily know the social media trends, but it all leads back to, clout, money chase, and different things and whatnot. And I see how it has become, like you say, even y'all to say the black and sexy part of it, like. There's Venn diagrams of, say, all right, I'm gonna just say this, of like, say, sports people, which I am, they like we finally agree that they're sports nerds. They don't like they be like but it's like you into it. Like we was talking backstage about like following the Knicks or whatever, buddy. On our podcast, we broke down the cap. We would know the cap. We would know the cap numbers. Like shout out to Harold Brown. Like we in here we doing math. Like this is fun. Like they can do this and that. And then we got so in the woods. Andrews moment. If you hear this, Harold, it still was funny. Like he did the math on the most inconsequential player. I'm like Mark. I'm like Harold. Stop. I was like no. I was like but like we in the woods. But it's just that you got OF girls. You got this. You got, unfortunately, the conservative manosphere folks. You got this, they're there.
Unfortunately.
You have comedians. So a lot of people had to come to the realization that, I actually do like a lot of these things and this and that, and it's okay. It's okay for younger people to do this, and there can be a space for multiple faceted people. You don't have to be an Urkel. You don't have to be this. You can be multiple things. You don't have to be the biggest Dragon Ball Z goon fan out there. You can be a collective part of things. You don't have to be a comic book and manga snob, but you can. You can these things. A lot of people and one of the dumbest things that I'm glad that was funny when people were like, "Oh, there's Blerd and there's a Bleak." First of all, I'm glad Bleak never caught on because Bleak is just Bleak.
Don't make Bleak happen.
Bleak don't. Oh my God! Please don't.
Bleak, as they say, that. What's the face for that won't fetch, or down here as the country white people say, that dog won't hunt.
That dog won't hunt.
That dog won't hunt. And people was like, "Oh, I'm not a geek. I'm a nerd." I'm like, y'all, just chill out. It's marketing. Don't get so up about it. But I'm just glad that how things have changed, where it is a business now. It is a business side to it. There is different levels to it, from all the social media things you see, and things that I don't hate. I'm gonna talk about how a lot of that comes into fruition as well too. So we'll get to that. Mark, your turn.
Oh, thank you. He's also
I'm trying, Mark. You know how I used to be on fire. I'm trying,
and I appreciate it. I mean, you know what? If y'all go back and check some of the old episodes, Coop is a straight man, and I'm kind of a jerk. It's like a professional quality of mine. Like the straight man and the jerk. That would be me. We have had. I mean, nothing tops. That was 2019, Coop.
Oh yeah.
What year? We had no. It wasn't 2019, was it?
Oh no. If you about to say about the Comic-Con, look, I already knew you was about to talk about it, because this is 2019 before COVID. We struggled. This was the height of when it got to a point where the Comic-Con in my job kind of low key became the Blerd-ish Comic-Con. Like wink wink. I was working.
Real man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Coop was working his jelly like his last name was Smuckers. He was in that thing.
I really
he was in that thing, and we got everybody we wanted, and they paid for it. And so it was love, man. We got an artist. She was working on Lovecraft Country.
Ashley Johnson.
She's a storyboarder. On Lovecraft Country.
A year before Lovecraft came out, and she was one of our guests. So. Now I didn't get her. That was somebody above.
It don't matter, Coop.
You got it. Made it,
man. Coop. I give. He not gonna take the credit, but I'm gonna give it to him. When they let him stick his toe in there, Coop shoved his whole size 14 through that door and kicked it all the way open and say, "Let me get as many of our people as we can to come." And it was marvelous. And it was so great. And everybody loved it. But as they do, there are certain people, they were like, "Man, it was really spectacular, but is there a way to make it less black and do it the same way?" And I'm like, nah.
You know what? How deep can I go into the sidebar into that?
I mean, it's your time.
Okay. I'm gonna keep it.
That's gonna be a lot of time.
I'll just make it. I'll get a summary of it. It was a point where we had a meeting at my job, and we was like, because they would rotate like the Comic Con meetings, and I'm fine with the person who did this, and they was like, oh, can you bring us names, whatever. Where I'm not trying to start anything now. Of course, Mark knows my mission. I know my mission, but also the mission and theme of the con was to have diversity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for some folks, diversity mean white women.
Yeah, for sure.
White women. And that's, that's because women can't be black women. It's like, I'm bringing you women. They just happen to be black. And this person they even did the white woman tears. And I love this person. We actually are good friends to this day. We respect each other. But it was a day. And they did the white woman tears. But before that, they was like, well, we're trying to do a con. It's not a black con. It's just I'm like, and that's when the word BIPOC. First of all, I hate the word BIPOC. I ain't never used that word. That word has no meaning. It don't have no meaning to us. That's a cop-out word.
The only POC I recognize. I'm not with no BIPOC.
BIPOC. Look, just like how Bleak didn't happen, BIPOC is gone. Everybody don't, even if you woke, quote unquote woke or whatever, even they stopped trying to make BIPOC happen. Look, you can be black in your fullness, and you can represent for Mexican people, for Asian people, for other folks, for disability people, but you do not have to shy away from your blackness. And you do not have to put your blackness down in a hole.
I'll say,
unfortunately, we have to a point sometimes, but
they wanted to they always freaking do it. When they say they wanted to make it a diverse con, and that just meant get as many people
Latino,
who are not
Asian
white
folks.
straight males. So they had, they had the gamut of everybody, but it was like they had almost got to a point where they were like, okay, we over blacked.
We over black.
Which the bad thing was the year before, it was so spectacular because of how black it was.
And here's the thing.
And
Odie, you've been down here, right? How black is Baton Rouge?
Blackly black, black, black.
So who do you think is attending the con? And look, y'all, and it was a free con, and we had some of the best vendors that you will see, that some of my fellow vendors who I respect and appreciate, they go out and do these shows, do this and that, and we had them there. We'll have them consistently here. And this would be one of their most profitable cons because we didn't charge them nothing. People can come in. Guess what? When people can go in free and they might have money in a nice big air conditioning building that look pretty with nice bathrooms and stuff, they might actually enjoy themselves. And so it's still consistent, one of the best events in town. I'm no longer a part of it. I'm actually glad that I'm no longer a part of it. It actually was friction all the way until the end. Good friction. But I had one person who I had almost about to get her straight. She was like, well, because I was like, hey, I just want to be in the same vendor spot. Like, I'm in a particular vendor spot. Like, I'm not going upstairs. I want to be out of the bathroom. Like, I'm old, I'm fat. Like, I'm getting there. And also, I like to go into the meetings, take pictures, and actually promote the damn event that I put my hand in. She was like, one person was like, I no longer have to see her anymore. Thank God. She's like, well, other vendors can't just get to choose who they want. I said, yeah, they not me. I was like, I got beside. I was like, you know what? I'm usually humble. I said, yeah, but they not me though. Who you? I'm not asking. They don't even want the spot. That's the funny thing. The spot that I am is only conducive to what kind of how my setup was. It gave me a little bit extra. It doesn't have a plug. I have my own plugs. I'm sorry, I'm getting to vendor talk, but I'm saying I know how to make the spurts shine. I know how it works as a event for the name of Blerd-ish. Like, we are in that thing. We were meet and greet people, and luckily after that person we had some other issues that I can't go into.
All right.
But I'm gonna wrap it up.
It's enough on that, cool.
Sorry, car running. Whoo! Never again. Never again.
Well, are there any is there any comic book or funny or a novel that's out right now that you feel like people should be going out there and spending more time looking at and reading?
Yes, I will suggest, not just because I sell from whatever, but hey, I'm here. We're going to serve our purpose. Shout out to Milton Davis. Shout out to Jason Reeves. Milton Davis is, my mind's blanking on the name of his company. Good Lord. But Milton J. Davis.
Milton Davis is such a dope, prolific writer. If you haven't checked his stuff, check his stuff. He is dope. Jason Reeves, amazing writer. I mean, our friends. I'm so proud to call these people our friends because they are so talented. Milton they make me feel. I read their stuff and I be like, man, all I got is fart jokes.
Milton J has a book. If you like, say, Samurai Champloo, let's say you love Black women protagonists who are cold with a sword. You got a book called The Black Rose. Check it out. You can find it. It's not. In fact, you can find it on Books and Ish on our website. You can order through that, or you can order it through Jay, or I can send you the book if you want. I no longer have a order site, but I have copies. I can mail it media mail, and I won't charge you no tax.
Oh,
just charge you the cost of the media mail. So there's ways to get the book directly, indirectly, or whatever, what have you. So you can support me, you can support Milton. It's all good. Either way, if you buy it through me, you're gonna still support Milton because I owe him money. And I pay him the money. When I didn't sell the book, he's one of the few people that trust me to do consignment. So I have some of his stock, and when I sell it, he gets the author gets money directly. So
fantastic.
I get my cut or whatever. We have our author rates or whatever, and I shout out to them too, man, because I learned about some of the industry behind the things, how not to short myself, if I'm out selling to get my fair rate, and they offer me a fair rate. Like Jason came out the gate with a good rate, but because he's his own printer, he was able to do that more. But I've also had instances where people try to cut me short, be like,
biz naive.
I remember one lady, she asked me to sell a book. She's like, "You're gonna make more money than I do," and I said, "Then don't have me sell it."
Right, you sell it
though, baby. You sell it. This simple fix. I'm not going to work hard for less than the rate I'm supposed to get. That y'all gonna give them other folks who ain't gonna cut as much, didn't do as much work or research. And I know I'm running around Baton Rouge, but who out there in the sun doing it in burning high heat in a tent selling it? And that ain't.
I gotta give it to this brother. This boy he could sell water to a whale, sell salt to a snail.
Bro, I was selling books. One of the last for jokes,
sell tea to a shark.
It was a Black-owned bowling alley that's no longer here. I ain't gonna say the name of it just in case if it pops up. But it was like two men was about to get in a fight with a gun because about a football bet. I'm selling there. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, hey, bro, let's leave. We gotta go. We gotta go in the back. I was like, oh no,
brothers, can I interest you in a copy of?
I went around to the other side. They was in the front bar. I went to the old bar. I'm going in the dark till this is over with. Damn that. So I have been there.
But y'all hear, he did not say that he left. He kept selling. I'm telling you. He can sell moss to a tree.
Hey, bro, when people are might be gunning, you don't walk into the crossfire.
Sure, you walk around the back and you
walk around the back
and set up your table in the back. That's how you do.
Exactly, because there's going to be some looky-loos who are going to be in the area and they might want a book. That's awesome. Gentlemen, I got one more question for y'all. What would y'all say is what is one thing y'all currently love about nerd culture or blerd culture? And what is the one thing about nerd culture or blerd culture that has y'all exhausted?
You can go, Mark.
We actually talk. We talk about this every day. So
sure.
Just if not that it's a current thing, but just like I said, a man of a certain age. I remember when it just wasn't that cool. Man, I really had to fight people about liking Batman. Like, why? Why?
I mean, you just made you. That was your bat training. You was trained to be a Robin.
I got a bad too, y'all. I have a bad too because I was told that you can't be a real Bat fan if you ain't got a bat too. So I did it drunk. I only have I have two tiny little tattoos. And one is bad too. But what makes me happy in nerditry is that we can feel free to nerd. I can wear my Venom t-shirt to work. I can wear my Batman Arkham Asylum polo shirt. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me about except like, hey, that's a neat shirt. It used to be like, oh, look at him. He likes Spider-Man. And then I have to beat him like Punisher. So that's something that makes me happy now. In terms of what makes me not happy, you know what? It's better times. I will tell you what makes me not happy. I went and I saw the Masters of the Universe movie. I thought it was great. It hit all these little nostalgic marks for my old self, and they trashed it. They brutalized it. They drug it out behind the shed, and I heard it going. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It was getting it. Y'all stop monkey piling on my past. Masters of the Universe is all right. He-Man had a bowl cut, but he was buff. And he still got the girl.
Hey,
that's
things that I love about, I guess, being a Blerd or whatever. Again, I just love that folks of all walks of life can come into it. And that if people are open-minded, that you can have people of, say, if they're special needs or if they're disabled or if you're older, if you're younger, that there can be nexus points of these things that we love and that we can share generations. And it's like it didn't say was as openly and free in our culture to do that. Say like seeing it from I think, believe it or not, it started changing a little bit through the 80s, just a smidge. That's where some of the seeds are playing. I know I say don't be an Urkel, but he helped a lot to it. Shout out to Pee Wee Herman, shout out to that show. Like, and these things that we learned that to be nice and to care for people, from certain shows. And some of that crept in through different things. And then hopefully that your mores and your standards and ethics build onto that to glom onto being a Blerd. Just things that I don't like about it. I don't understand gatekeeping. I don't understand people trying to make this a clout status chasing thing. And I'm going to get more into that when we get to things that I don't like. But just that part of it and trying to like put people down because we've had it. And also theft. Y'all got to stop stealing people ideas from comic book writers to podcasters. Y'all got to stop that because look, some of y'all are lucky that a lot of us are not trying to go to jail. Not be particular, but some of y'all need to stop. Like, I'm shocked that, like I said, if I was a writer,
I'll swing on you. I like the fight.
I know some stories, at least the outskirts of it. I would have, if I was writing with my pen, like, I'll have a whole book about two comic book writers probably about to choke each other out. I'll make a book about it. Some of y'all out there wilding, just dirty. So business is business. It like, look, Tom Jones used to say the same thing.
Hey, business is business. But if I catch you in these streets, I'm gonna baptize you with these knuckles.
So business is business. It don't matter what the topic is. It still go back to is people going to do right within the space or are they going to do wrong with the space? Right. I laugh at my dad. He used to be like, my dad was an older gentleman. He's like, I hate computers and all that newfangled stuff and blah, blah, blah. I said, Dad, a computer is just like a hammer. Either I could build a home with it or I could take it and I could murder you.
That's his favorite thing.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly. I think, like I said, I
change it up a little bit.
I like to change it up, but yeah, like these things are tools. Like you can either take that tool and build a house, or you can take that tool and knock somebody unconscious, put them in the hospital. You know, it's like something like that. You know.
So I asked one a few times. I think I got my dad. You know, because he was a deacon and he was into wisdom and all that. So
absolutely.
Well, cool. What don't you like? I got this answer earlier, so I'm letting.
Well, I just got Dad, but I'm gonna go into when we go into what I don't like this week. I'm gonna got some specific.
I got you. We are definitely gonna get there, but I do want to just like take the time to again thank y'all so much for being on the show and like just sharing like y'all experiences, y'all thoughts, and y'all feelings with us. It means the world to me. It means the world to Odie. I'm sure it means the world to everybody listening.
It means the world to us that you guys reached out to us, because we just too old for us that love comic book nerdy stuff, love anime, love Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm not 50.
We be looking at Conroy like he our child. I mean,
he is our child.
I have made 50.
I'm 45.
Y'all. My 30s was better than my 20s. My 40s, my 40s was my 30s was better than my 20s. I thought my 40s started off so dope, but then they changed at the end, and now I'm 50, and I'm looking at retirement. I'm counting down because I work like we in the dirty South. Mm-hmm. I work with a bunch of smart dummies.
Yeah.
So yeah. I work with engineers who are aligned with maggot forces. I'll say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
They make I'm looking at the clock every day.
Mm-hmm.
But when I leave and I get to go home and I get to watch My Adventures with Superman, I get to watch some Infinity Castles. I get to watch Zom 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm transported.
Mm-hmm.
I'm transported. I'm not in that bad negative headspace no more. And y'all, I work with a man that is going to live to be 200. He is 73. He's in better shape than all of us. He could beat us all up if we all fought him at the same time. I'm very confident of this. And I asked him his secret. He said, I choose to be happy. He said, and it takes work because the world ain't nice.
Mm-hmm.
If you make that choice, the world might not give it to you. He said, but you got to take it.
Yeah.
Take your happiness. Take my happiness. Strong on your happiness, cool.
Damn right. Take that happiness, y'all.
Squeeze the juice of life.
Sweet juice. You got to squeeze it out that mother. I'm sorry.
As they say, make sure the juice is worth the squeeze. Shout out to whoever created that one.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, shout out to your pops. Well, I had never heard that one. And
you didn't make that one.
Sometimes you gotta ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? I said,
I ain't created that one. I heard that from other people. Whoever made it.
Hey, shout out to your pops, man. That's the source for me. I don't know what the source was for him, but he's a source for me. I take it. Wisdom of the elders.
I honestly I love all of the idioms that I grew up with when I was in Baltimore. I got a lot of them from my grandparents, but I think that might be my favorite one. Make sure the juice is worth the squeeze. Possibly the title of this episode. We shall see.
I like it. It could, yeah, that works.
All right. Pause.
All right.
Gentlemen, it has been an absolute delight having y'all. Thank y'all again so much for being here. With that being said, it ain't all sunshine and lollipops up in here. Because here's the thing, listeners and viewers. We're upset We're annoyed. We're frustrated. We're flustered. We're disconcerted. We're dismayed. We're agitated. We're unsettled. We're unzipped. We're all torn up, and we have a right to be, because just like nerds are not a monolith, just like blacks are not a monolith, we on this podcast are not a monolith. We come in all shades and stripes, and we are allowed to feel exactly how we feel. And right now, we are big mad.
Oh, bro.
No, that is not even the drop I wanted to use. We are big mad.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This is space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
Gentlemen, what is making y'all big mad at the moment?
I want to start.
Sure.
So bear with me. So let me stretch for this one. So folks, there was this wonderful event called DreamCon last week, right? I didn't go to it. I watched the videos. I saw some great stuff. I saw the Black Power Rangers panel. I watched that. I watched some of the cosplays. I felt my spirit uplifted, like I was right there with y'all in Houston, Texas, in the George R. Brown Center. It's like, look at this. This is wonderful. I can't wait. I know I'm old. I want to go. I'm gonna still do it as old man. And then I saw something and I didn't pay it no mind. You know, it's like, you know how they do that cartoon where it's like something in the background and you look one panel, it's like a little dot, then you come back, it's closer, then it's right on side of you, and the monster is right on side of you. Well, speaking of monsters, a particular cosplayer, I think of Asian background, came dressed as Frieza. Now I was watching all the good stuff, whatever. And I kind of saw it, and I didn't know it was Asian dude first, but I saw the whole circle of the fuckery, if you will. I'm just gonna say it, of grifting and online nonsense of using black people as your tit pole for bullshit. He came dressed in DreamCon and kept saying, "Hello, monkeys! Hello, monkeys!" It's Frieza and to people different that, and he had a black friend, I guess, with him, and nobody, first of all, he's upright, he's talking, and then I guess he's now getting, pushback. And he gave the most, I was about to be 90s trash for a minute. I'm trying to be respectful because, you're a lady and all that. So I was about to say something real harsh, but the fact that he's upright and he gets to come on here with this weak ass apology and be like, I'm not going to take the videos down. I'm sorry for whoever, blah, 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 but I'm making money from it. And I got like, I don't know how many millions. Of course, you fucker. Racism sells amongst people like you. Not Asian people, we're racist. So I just want to say that. Nothing against Asian people, whatever, but he just happens to be of Asian descent or whatever. So, and I'm just like, and then he even called the black dude, my coon friend is okay with it and blah, blah, blah. And Mark always crack jokes about me because I find Dragon Ball, like I love Dragon. I actually do like Dragon Ball. Like it's a ride. It's like a roller coaster ride. You go on it once. I'm like, all right, it's cool. Let me grow up off of this kiddie ride. Let me get on a real roller coaster. Yeah, I know I know backhanded shade, but still, Mark, like he's disgusted. But I'm not more disgusted than this. I've always did not like Mr. Popo, even if there's other people because the stereotype is real. The way that they were drawn on the show. Look, Toriyama, genius, all that, gave this world a good interpretation of pushing anime into the West and shonen and all that. That's cool. But y'all, you do not have to, again, shortchange your blackness to accept this because it's in manga and anime and you have the problem. Don't let them people gaslight you like this. Don't let them people do that. I'm ashamed that these younger folks did not check his ass. I don't know how I ain't saying he got to be hurt. I ain't saying that. I'm saying maybe rip the cosplay off of him. Make it up. Smear his makeup off. Cool.
I tell you what, let him be around me saying Frieza and dress as Frieza and let him if he eating a banana, he ain't even got to say it. I'm gonna swing on him.
Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna lay him out like salami on a $5 foot long.
so like this ain't no knock to DreamCon, whatever, but you know, if there's a way for people to if there's a way for people to be able to have a system to report this madness during the week of, if it's possible, and not think that this is funny and think that, oh, black people got to, no, black people don't. How about that? Just stop. We don't have to keep accepting people's bullshit.
Dog.
And it frustrates the hell out of me. This is more bigger than being a blerd or nerd or otaku and such of that. Because y'all so much worried about the labels while them people are playing in your face every goddamn minute just to fit in, to chase clout, to allow it. And then on the flip, on a minor side of it, I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna get this one out.
Go ahead.
The people who come to a con, whether if it's black or otherwise, to come in there and be like, I don't like that anime shit, it's weird. I saw that one. I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Because of the clout chase and this and that. Look, we're creators, we're do this stuff, whatever. I don't do IRL streaming. I'm not a big streamer. You know, I'm nothing. I'm a blip on anything, whatever. But goddamn it, I'm a person, and I'll let you know it. I don't give a fuck about how rich or famous or whatever you are. You do some shit like that, you deserve what the hell you should get if a real person do it to you. I ain't condoning violence, but I'm saying if somebody do something to you,
tell your businessman,
you know, maybe you deal with the fallout. I am disappointed in some of you younger blerds. Y'all need to stand up for your people. You need to stand up for these different things, unless you're a part of it. And if you one of them Fresh and Frit brothers and you part of the Manosphere, you believe in you are Andrew Tate lover or whatever. Enjoy prison, bitch. But you know, ultimately, go fuck yourself because you ain't talking to you. But people who believe in these things stand up against this stuff. I'm sorry, man. That burned me the fuck up, as my dad used to say. You know, had me heated and everything. Just grifters, racists, people who trying to other you at a black con, you know. And I get why Mark and them don't want to put the label black con on it. Money, I just know how it is, how it goes. You know how it goes in the algorithm. People can look at it and figure out it's black. You know, it's not a black con. It's a con for everybody. But you know, still, we there and we represent it. You know, it's just. Don't let that happen. Like, folks, don't let these things do that, because as these events that we created get bigger, more interlopers, more people want to come make jokes like Chad Chud the Builder and want to go to the black. They go all up in the black space like they get the ET Award. Anyway, I'm gonna protest. I'm gonna call y'all the N-word right there, and y'all and I feel like there need to be a way to stop this, but people need to collectively come together. Like those folks we're coming up on the anniversary of the Bama beatdown. Yeah. You see how they came together and they let them people play in the face. Take them initiative like that. You know, even if you ain't got to whoop them, but, you know, give them a little shove, like a little check, a little push. You know, that's when bullying is fine. You know, that's when it's fine to bullies and people who hate against you. So that's what got me hot and pissed off this week. Like,
wow.
That's
I
real.
100% agree.
I agree. Mark, what's making you big mad?
No. I'm with Coop. Like it's really the cloud chasing. Like I said, man. If I'm at DreamCon, because it ain't cheap. If I'm at DreamCon, boy, you bet not. Boy, I done spent all this money on this experience. Coop was being nice. I laid old boy out. Cooper be coming and getting me out of Houston, whatever county they in. If he called me a monkey, we both going to the hospital. Him to get the operation and me to recover my shoe. So, that gets me big mad. It's the cloud chasing, and like also what you said, man. I'm at this experience. If I'm going to DreamCon, I'm probably gonna be with a whole bunch of people like me, who really love the things that they have at the culture. If you are not into it, why are you here? Exactly. If you try to other me or minimize me, I fight.
Yeah. How you gonna try to?
I fight. I love to fight. Really.
Like
I'm too old for it, but I will.
But the love is still
there is a whole place called TwitchCon. There's
Mhm.
other cons. There's all type of cons for your flavor. And guess what? You still can't do the shit because it's still nerdy because of the tech and all things
Bro,
involved.
just take,
What the hell you
if
think
you're not there for that, take your whack ass on the way you go and do whatever con it is you want to be a part of. But don't come here because if I hear you, if I see
her apology too, because
I will
it's like,
swing.
well,
I
I'm
like
sorry, this that, blah blah blah. No, you wanna go there to stunt with the popular streamers, and like even last year, it was the year before, like they had like I don't think it was one particular person, but it was this skinny weird dude. I don't remember his name, but I know there was some fights that broke out there, and then dudes walking around in IRL. First of all, I don't like that. If I'm at a con, I get it. You gotta do some things, but like cut it out a little bit, unless you're being positive. But he's just going around just like insulting people, like ha 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 ha. And he looked like a fucking dork himself. He looked like he could take a punch to the chest if you just shove him. I'm like, who is this?
I remember who you're talking about, Coop. And
he probably got some. He had a couple of goons with him, I think, but still, it's like I just want to see people like this. He gonna need some help. It's like this is not what we need. Like y'all don't barely read books. Y'all didn't like anime, this and that. And even if you did, you only like the meat-headed Dragon Ball Z anime while we got a person running around calling people monkeys. So people allowed this shit to happen, and this is where we are. And the clout chaseriness of it, I hope don't supersede what the meaning of it. And that ain't no knock DreamCon, that's any con. And especially, I get it. We are not a monolith. So we don't have to be the worst of Blerd-dom, but we don't have to become there. I'm going to a nerdy con to laugh at these nerds. People like that. Like, I don't cosplay, I don't do that, but I sell books. I might nerd out about a book or something I read, or a manga or an anime I talk about. And I might share that with you.
Yeah, it's all good. Come on. Come on to the con. Come and see me. Yeah. Come and see Doug.
That's that type of stuff that I'll say this because I am a family man and I have a kid, I got a wife, but if I was single and I'm running around here a little bit younger and they come to my booth, I'm slapping the camera out. I was like, bro, you just gotta whip my ass. Like,
that's right.
What is this?
But what is this? So cool. He not.
Yeah.
Cool. Them people not gonna whoop your ass.
They'll jump me.
That's something else. I be trying to tell these people, y'all. Coop is not me. I'm not the biggest dude. Coop put them hands on you. Like I say, he gonna put that size 14 on your tail.
I haven't gotten in a fight in a while. I've been close to it.
That's probably because they smart. They looked at you and said, "Yeah, this ain't the move."
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, the part of the brain that just snap, like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. Like, and I just, like, y'all, like, I would be upset if I had a kid or whatever, and they go there and we want to do this together, and I have to come across this. I know that there's so many more positive things that I've seen at these at DreamCon. To me, not, I say mention BlerdCon, even BlerdCon too, even though that's a whole other story.
There's so much more love than there is that negative stuff, but that negative stuff
goes viral, and it does not
roll up on the right one. And I'm right-handed. I'm the right one. Try it. I promise you. I fight. Any of y'all who hear my voice, you can try me. If you see me in public, I fight. I love this shit.
PSA from Blerd-ish, they will fight.
Absolutely.
So, Mo?
No, Odie, what is making you big mad?
I said it first.
No, you didn't. I did. Please, let us know what is making you big mad.
Real quick, I just saw this story out of Tennessee where this woman named Kendra Scott, she pew-pewed a 20-year-old man in the head after she found him underneath her daughter's bed. Her daughter's 13. And she is being charged, obviously, with first-degree murder with this because of the fact that she was protecting her child. And I think that everyone blaming her or saying that, she should have used her words in the midst of this immensely terrifying and scary situation is wrong. And everyone who is calling this little girl fast and she should have known better or she lied about her age can go suck a rancid dick, because a 13-year-old cannot consent to anything besides going to the park. And a 20-year-old grown man should know better than to be in a 13-year-old's house. And if you didn't think you were doing anything wrong, you would have came through the front door, said hello to that mother, and unfortunately you lost your life. But you play stupid games and you will win stupid prizes. So free Miss Scott. And Mo, what's making you mad this week?
I'm going to be as quick as I possibly can. First up, to that gentleman. Sorry, I won't even say gentleman. To that dude that Keith brought up who dressed up as Frieza, went to DreamCon and called the black people there monkeys and then had the nerve to say that he wasn't racist. Well, guess what? The character that you dressed up as is a racist. And you also went to a place to be racist. That is enough to make you a racist. I don't give a fuck if you have a black friend. You're a racist. Your friend is complicit. I'm more mad at the friend because the friend allowed that shit to happen without checking him. He is not your friend. That guy who dressed up as Frieza and did some racist shit is not the black kid's friend, and the black kid is not that Frieza's friend. Those two, fuck them. Miss me with that bullshit. The second thing, and I'll keep this quick. I am upset. I will not name names. In my life, communication and relationships are very important. Unfortunately, due to some issues that occurred, admittedly, on my end, communication relationship has turned sour with one of my closest friends. And there has been efforts on my part to, make amends, to, reestablish things and to try to move forward amicably. And I recognize within myself that, yeah, I'm big mad at myself because sometimes I try to hold on to things and I gotta recognize that when things are done and donezo, just gotta learn to let it go. So I'm big mad by spending so much time trying to fix and repair a thing. I didn't recognize that it should have just been let go. And instead, I just spent more time, not necessarily making it worse, but trying to make something better that cannot be better. And so I'm big mad at myself. I just gotta let that shit go. And I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
And that's what's making us big mad. I gotta put the drop on correctly. There we go.
Bring it. What?
But we don't like to leave on sour notes because we are filled with multitudes. We are allowed to be mad, but we're also allowed to be joyful and point out the things that bring us joy, which is why we are here to tell you why we are happy.
I'm the baby merchant, tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
All right, gentlemen, what's making you happy this week?
Okay, I'll start. I will try not to foghorn leghorn this one. I know I've been a little long, but I got to give this one love. First of all, shout out to you, Odie. I love that shirt, by the way.
Thank you very much.
What anime is that from?
Star Wars.
Okay,
Not an anime.
Hey,
It's
I
from
was
Star
like, hey, look, Star Wars get to be everything you want.
Yeah.
That Star Wars right now is the anime.
I mean, Visions, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Visions.
So, hey, dope shirt. So with that said, anime has been great for me. I know weeb answer, but this is why I'm gonna explain it. This summer season, it's when we were deep into a lot of anime reviews, we would do count, and I would try not to go too much, but when it's hot, it's you can't help it. It was like a season where it was like Dan to Dan, Bleach or something. It was I don't know how many things was going on. But for me, I've gotten big into slice of life over the past few years. I am loving the trend for us, as me and Mark joke, as we're older men or whatever, the trend of more signing 40-year-old protagonists, more heartfelt different things that isn't necessarily got to be romance is being created. like smoking behind the supermarket with you. I love that. I relate to that as a person who used to be in finance. And to see this, I guess he got his manic pixie dream girl, or the thing that makes him happy, and his steady, what he aspired to have in a lady, and he don't know the secret. I ain't gonna spoil it. It's not really spoilable, but whatever. I mean, well, no, actually, that's a part. It's in the tagline, so they're the same person. He just doesn't get it. So it's a spoiler to him, and we're watching him navigate with mostly the real version of her, and how that she assess how he likes both of them, whatever. But his care and concern is growing for the real her. And just, I love it, man. Like, maybe I'm a softie with that one, but these grown people, and I call these grown-a-may. Grown-a-mays are so good, and as they grow up with you and you see these things. But shout out to Demons of the Shadow World, just animation from like that. Shout out to my times with my life adventures of Superman, X-Men 97. Y'all, whoever don't like episode 5, I don't know what's wrong with you. I see that goes back into there's another Smith School thing I don't like. The grifting. Oh, they messed over Wolverine. Like, y'all, this ain't the Wolverine show no more, right?
Yeah.
And then guess what, y'all? And I tell people this. It's 9 episodes. It's truncated. It's an adaptation. Grow up. Learn these literary terms. It'll make your life better. You always got your precious book or whatever. They can't always bring this exactly to the light because of time, money, and constraints, and other story plot points they got to tell to move it along. X-Men 97 may not last like maybe more than 5 seasons. And then we're going to get out of the 90s eventually, y'all. Guess what? We can't live in the 90s forever. We can't keep telling the same stories, and they ain't the goal. They can reboot it. Maybe they'll give y'all crybabies about Wolverine. They'll give them another Wolverine series, and then we can have that story fleshed out another time. Maybe 10 years from now, you'll probably get it. Or just go play the damn Wolverine game. It comes out in a few weeks. You'll get all your Wolverine. You'll get the blood and guts. Enjoy this shit. Y'all, we just told y'all earlier. We didn't have this growing up to this level. I got X-Men 97, Superman. Anime is more accessible. Shout out to Camp Vision, shout out to the High Seas, because Sony, they bugging. Get your anime how you get it. I ain't saying don't pay for it. I'm just saying get your anime how you get it.
Sure.
He ain't saying it. I'm saying it.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna pass the mic. The animation have been the best things going the past few years, but shout out to Rooster Fighter, shout out to, and also one more weird thing, shout out to Mark for picking this one. Tojima wants to be a comic writer. Watch it.
Okay, cool.
I dare you. You'll put meat on you. Put hair on your chest. It'll make you have appreciation for good food.
Nice.
Oh, dope. All right,
Mark.
You know what? Let's stick with this theme. Man, it's been so much. Man, I have not been in the best of places, but man, I can sit and put on Tojima Wants to Be a Common Writer and see this old man who reminds me of me going out in the street, losing his mind and fighting people.
We watch it. This is how we look at you. And then we might give you a hug. And then,
y'all, if y'all are not on Tojima's Common Writer, y'all, it is nuts. It's funny. The protag he's a grown up and he only dates grown women. I gotta put that's something we've been having an issue with like anime. Like they be bugging sometimes. But But yeah.
we love
Tojima Wants to Be Common Writer. I came across it accidentally. Y'all, like that whole first season is out now. Y'all go and watch that. You will enjoy it. And y'all will say, thank you, MarkDub. And I will say, you're welcome. This is what I do.
24 episodes did Rooster. It was that, the Rooster Fighter. Now Smokey.
Rooster Fighter was excellent.
God damn it. This is the year of 40-year-old Steiny protagonist. I know y'all don't care because y'all too busy letting your racist cosplayer friends call you monkeys. But I'm telling you, you're 40 and you like anime. God damn it. Give these shows a watch.
There's something
it is a time to be alive.
It's a good time to be alive for an anime watcher.
Mo,
Yes.
what's making you happy this week?
For me, as I always say, doing this podcast with you makes me happy. This thing is therapeutic. It is not the same as therapy. There's a difference. But I enjoy doing the podcast with you. I enjoy having our guests, MarkDub and Keith, Blerd-ish podcast. I that has brought me a lot of joy. And honestly, just being able to, I am starting, and I'm going to start going back and watching the Godfather, what I consider my Godfather of anime, aka the one thing that I watch once a year all the way through, and then once I'm done, I put it down, and then I wait another year to watch it again. I am gonna start Gurren Lagann from the beginning, and then watch it all the way through. So yeah, I'm gonna pick that up. And if you can join me in watching
I will join you in watching that.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I will rejoin you. I actually restarted. I see the flag. I see the flag back there.
Yeah, we go. Team Guy Gurren up in this house. Odie, what's making you happy this week?
All right. Well, as Keith mentioned, DreamCon has happened recently, and I've been seeing all the videos. They're great. I have lots of FOMO. But one video I saw recently was so cute. For a little bit of context, there's obviously DreamCon, so there are a bunch of Black Spider-Man, spider people from across the multiverse, and there was a little spider baby, and this is what happened. I just thought that was so cute.
That is extremely joyful.
And
that is extremely joyful.
I love seeing the kids at the cons. You know, I know a lot of folks are like, why are we bringing the kids in? We need to be just like adult time. But I'm like, this is good for everybody. There's going to be kids things. There's going to be teen things. There's adult stuff. There's going to be something for everybody. But I want all the little baby Blerds to grow up in a space feeling seen and appreciated and showing that, like, yeah, I'm not alone. And now who knows? Does he really love Spider-Man? I don't know. But he looked freaking cute in it. Sure. And I loved it.
Sure. Fantastic. And that's what's making us happy.
Baby merchant, tots are up.
Gentlemen, thank y'all again for being a part of the show. Where can people find you, and what would you like to plug?
For me, people can find me at Blerd-ish on IG, Facebook, the Blerd-ish Facebook page, but mostly IG. And you can find me on podcasts such as Black and Snerdy, sometimes on our homeboys podcast Nerd Soul with Open Mind. Shout out to Open Mind. And as far as plugging, follow the Twitch. I'm not the best Twitch. Follow the Twitch. Follow this. Buy some books. So if you want to go to the Books and Ish page, it does fund what we do. If you want to say I want to donate a cash up, man, look, trust me, it goes to books, it goes to stuff, it goes to con events that I'm trying to plan. Like, I'm not a sponsored person. I've sponsored myself through my job for this con life. And for just out there hustling. So, man, I just want to say thank y'all. Like, and I really thank y'all for real talk, just to be real for a minute. I thank y'all for inviting me. Like, I go to Mark and, old dark man moment. I'm like, is this the year that I quit podcasting? Is this the year I said, fuck it? Is this the year I just say, like, have I had an impact? I literally said, I think I asked Mark, I said, I wonder if I had an impact on people's life with this. And then I know the answer is yes. And sometimes you meet that one, you right when you're out of gas, and then somebody gives you gas, like, oh yeah, I actually did listen, or I did this, or I like that you sold me that book, or they'll hit you up like, hey man, I remember you sold me this book. Can you get such and such? I want to buy it from you. And that happens every so much. And ain't nothing like when I go to cons and I get to meet little baby Blerds or young Blerds. Didn't get to go to my 2 favorite cons this year. That kind of had me in a funk. Cause that kind of mess with me. I love the people of Jackson when they come to the shows, and I didn't get to go invited to the 2 cons I do the most in Jackson. So that had me a little down this year. But these type of things, Blerds like you, people, moments like I just saw, those are the things that bring me back, man. Those are the things that say, you know what? How can I put this down now? I just need to be a little bit more consistent, time and life. But it's like, I don't have to burn it and destroy it. I can just put it off to the side a little bit. I can refuel, take a break, and refresh myself and come back to it. And, why does Blerd-ish ever have to end if I still got breath in my body?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. Mark, anything to add as far as like plugs and where people can find you?
You can find me on MarkDub on IG. I promise I'm there. Even though I don't hardly post, I promise I'm there. Y'all message me. I'm gonna get right back with you eventually next week. I ain't even mentioning the other place. I be on Twitter, but I don't be doing nothing but just looking at stuff. I don't want to endorse Felon or anything else. So yeah, just look for me on IG. You find me on there, you find me anywhere else. I'm gonna be doing some stand-up somewhere. I promise I'm gonna post it on the IG the next time I go do some stand-up somewhere, so y'all come and see me and come rock with me.
I'm glad you remind me. Quick plug. Next month, you can catch me at Anime Conclave in New Orleans, Riverside Hilton Hotel. Look it up. Can't remember the date exactly. Still working out the paperwork, so I got something. Working on something.
I'm sure we will be able to add it in the show notes. But no, in all seriousness, thank y'all so much for joining us. Odie?
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, everybody, for supporting Black and Snerdy. No, sorry. Go back. Sorry. All right. First, let me say thank you to them, and then don't start it until I tell you to start it, or else I'm going to be scrambling.
Sure.
All right. Well, thank the two of you so much for spending time with us. You dropped a lot of gems. You've given us so much to think about and so many new things that we can watch. And I know that I appreciate it, and I'm sure that our listeners appreciate it. And now, everybody, thank you for supporting Black and Snerdy, whether you're listening, sharing the show, or grabbing merch, or using our tip jar via Cash App. It all helps us to keep these conversations going. Everything is in the show notes and link in our bio. So clickety clack.
Absolutely. If that's everything, that's everything. Again, thank you, Blerd-ish podcast team, for being here. Thank you, Odie, for being here. That's the show. I'm Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie. And these are our guests from Blerd-ish.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all. And we'll see y'all for more of this. Until next time.
Thanks for listening, nerds.
Keep the show growing. Listen, comment, and download on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or watch full episodes on YouTube.
Follow the show at Black and Snerdy.
Follow me at Licorish is Legit.
Find me at That'sOD_E on Twitter and at That'sOD.E on Instagram.
This is the Black and Snerdy podcast,
where nerds of a feather flock together.